Hello and welcome to this special episode of our program, World Today. It is special because we are honored and we are glad to have with us a very famous journalist and presenter and interviewer of one of the years from the World Society. We have with us today Mr. Tim Sebastian. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much. And before we go to the main topics of our episode today, which are the headlines of local and international press, I would like to first introduce you properly to our audiences here. Of course, we're not speaking about Westerners, but we're speaking also about the elites and intellectuals in Egypt. So, Mr. Tim, tell us more about your career as a journalist and a famous presenter and interviewer.
Well, I started journalism in Reuters. That was my first job in journalism. Soon after that, the agency, worldwide news agency. And then I joined the BBC Russian service. I'd studied Russian at university. And then I got sent abroad as a correspondent in 1979. My first posting was to Poland, and it was just before the revolutions started in Eastern Europe, which were to bring about the end of communism much later on. I was then posted to Moscow. I got thrown out of Moscow on trumped-up charges of spying in 1985, and I then went to Washington as a correspondent. After that, I became an interviewer, and now I'm doing the Doha debates, which is...
Exactly, the Doha debate, but... that was, when you were in Poland, that was one of your 9 books you wrote, right?
Well, yes, I wrote novels which were based in Poland and Russia, yeah, but mainly of my time in Eastern Europe.
Right. Let me ask you, now you're starting a totally different, not career, but in a different area, which is the Arab area. Now you're the chairman and the conductor of the Doha debate. That is a very renowned program that is debating the situation in the Middle East, mostly.
It has been for 7.5 years.
Exactly, exactly.
We started when there was no free speech anywhere in the Arab world, and now you've won quite a lot of it here in Egypt and also in Tunisia. We're seeing changes.
So let me ask you here, sir, how did you start it, and how was it in the very beginning?
We started in Doha, the capital of Qatar, in 2004. I had gone to a conference there. I met the Emir and his wife, Sheikh Moza. They talked about the reforms that they were bringing into the country at that time, asked if I had any ideas, and we talked about town hall debates. We talking about issues which were taboo in the region, talking about reform, talking about human rights, talking about the real things that meant something, relations with the outside world, Islam, the role of Islam in politics, things like this. Really subjects which hadn't been discussed by young people, predominantly young people. And that's what we've done over the last 7.5 years, is give young people a chance to express their views on the subjects that affect their lives and to question the people in positions of authority, thought leaders and politicians, and really make them answer the questions. So it wasn't just throw a question in the air and they can answer or not, but insist on getting answers as well. And
was that easy?
I think people were very shy at the beginning. They took a long time to realize that not only could you ask difficult questions, but you should ask difficult questions, that you should try and play a part in the political life of your region, in your country, because otherwise decisions will be made without you ever having a say about them.
Was that an easy task then?
No, it wasn't.
Did you get the right answers?
It wasn't easy, but the rewarding thing was that the young people embraced the idea. They wanted to debate, they wanted to question. They hadn't had the chance before, many of them. And so 2,000 young kids from all over the Arab and Muslim worlds began debating and did debate training and started